Why, hello, and welcome back to yet another Off the Shelf. Today we're talking about something that even Giguk has done a video on.
We did it before it was cool.
Yeah, but in reality it's just going to turn out that we're into it way before it was cool, and then it's going to be like...
Look, if this series ever blows up, we now have the freedom to be elitist about it and toxic about it to all the new fucks that came into the fandom.
That's entirely fair. We might be, we might not be. You'll probably see if it ever gets that popular. But today we're talking about the third volume of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. We'll also probably be filming the fourth one pretty soon. So they must have had like a little bit of a backlog in the Japanese releases before they translated it to English, because they've been coming out about once every 6 weeks, and that's much faster than manga normally comes out in English. So I think that they're going to hit a wall at some point, but I know that 5's coming out pretty soon, and so is 6. So it must be after 6, because I didn't see 7 coming out relatively soon. So we're talking about Volume 3, though, today. Which... oh god. The twist at the end of Volume 2 and then going into Volume 3, I am just absolutely stunned by. So, Volume 3 finishes out this kind of two-part story arc with this demon general woman in the north, right? So it's kind of the first big city they pass through on the way to the north, and there's this demon general, and there's this whole plot point at the end of... like book 1 or 2, it's somewhere in there where the demons are trying to pretend like they're gonna get along with the humans and that sort of thing, and then that becomes very, very obvious in book 3 that is not the case. This is not what's happening. These demons are entirely planning to like massacre the humans as soon as they've gotten them to just let them into the city, because there's a barrier around the city, like a really strong magical barrier. So Frieren goes out and she confronts this demon general. I forget her name, but because it's not something stereotypical like Lilith or some shit, but she confronts this demon general and they start fighting, and the demon general's like, ha, I can take your body over because I have stronger magical power than you, and cast the spell. But Frieren's been hiding like her magical power, like the sheer amount of it, through this whole fight. So it turns out that she has more magical power than the demon general, and it quickly gets turned the other way. And then there's this little offshoot about how Frieren's been teaching her protege how to do that, how it's like...
Frieren's teacher is teaching Frieren.
Yeah, but she's also teaching her protege to do that as well. And it's not looked upon positively in the adventuring community. They make several mentions about how magicians are viewed as cowards if they hide their like magical energy, and that's why the demons didn't think she would, because no human would do that, because why would you not show off the power when you have it?
How demon of her.
Yeah, and so, well, not even, because the demons don't hide it either. Like, this is very unique to Frieren and Frieren's teacher. Like, entirely. Like, no one hides their magical power level because it makes them look weak. So we get her defeating the demon general, and then we move on to the next part of the story. And I mentioned this to Knick-Knack before when we were kind of discussing it, but this is kind of almost a One Piece-esque, like, little sub-stories and gathering party members, right? Like crew members. Because we move on to the next town, their goal is to get to a certain place that they can take an adventuring exam so that they can be licensed Northern Province adventurers or something, like certified to go out there into the wilds where monsters are stronger. And on the way, they run into this other person that Frieren's trying to pick up for the party.
Yeah, because wasn't it because someone in her party, got injured or got poisoned? Something, and they needed to, and he was like, they bring it to that the church, and the priest is like, well, there's nothing we could do. This one guy could do it if he came in, but otherwise, you're gonna die.
And Frieren's like, okay, bet.
Well, and then the guy walks in, and they need to heal him.
Yeah, and heals him, and then they proceed to fleece him of everything in gambling to the point where he's like in his underwear, and then start bothering him about joining.
Yep.
How very One Piece of them.
I was gonna say how kind of fucked up.
Honestly, I thought it was really funny. So I'm really enjoying this so far. I think I'm not sure where it's going. I mean, obviously, like, this arc of the story, they've already said what they're traveling to do.
They're going towards the demon
Yeah, because they
castle.
have to renew something on it.
Well, they're trying to find something that was left behind by Frieren's teacher.
Yeah. And, but on the way, they're having to, like, renew certain things that are, like, running out and that sort of thing. But I really don't know where this manga's going. That's an odd thing for me to say, right? Because normally you start reading a manga and you can kind of tell where it's going. Like, we started Horimiya, right?
Yeah.
And we knew where Horimiya was going to end up. You start One Piece, you know where One Piece is going to end up. Like, I think, at least for us, like, we've watched so many anime that we can usually make a pretty good guess.
I think our problem here is that we're so used to, like, shonen and fantasy, like isekai stuff. Like, when they go to they see the demons, and the demons have that encounter with them, it feels like, oh, this is the direction we're going. We're probably going to see a few of these characters again. No, they kill all the demons, so there's no more returning characters from there.
Yeah.
That's what makes me wonder if we're going to have much of an overarching story, or if it's just going to be, we get there, we have the final story, and that's sort of the end of the manga.
Yeah, so I'm very curious about where this is going. Obviously, we're only on book 3, so we don't know, but it's just so different from a lot of the other shit that we're reading and watching. Like, first of all, you're on the premise, this is one of those fantasy world adventuring parties defeat the Demon King, but it's done. That part of the story is finished.
Well, we kind of had it revealed that maybe it's not all the way done.
Not all, but, like, we're starting from a point where...
It's fairly melancholic for the most part, outside of that one demon chapter, which implied at least that they're going to have to go and finish the job, basically.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's depressing. It like not in a genuinely, like, upsetting way, but it's definitely it's not super peppy. It's not like it's more like
Yeah, I mean, it feels. It's not, but it's kind of written like a slice of life, where these are just kind of mundane moments in these characters' lives.
Yeah, but it is genuinely not as positive as most slice of lives that I watch. It's a little...
I don't know, I feel like saying it's not as positive is kind of missing the point here, because yes, there is the depressing part of how time passes you by, but through this entire thing, it's not like Frieren's getting depressed about it. It's her more or less learning to use the time she has with people more wisely.
Yeah, no,
so
I
it's
get
a little,
that.
So it is, like, these are giving, like, happier, more, like, warm-hearted moments with each other. It's just not as... It
gets happier as it goes on.
Yeah, no,
like,
the beginning...
the first book was downright dark.
Well, the beginning was sort of the realization.
Yeah. So I'm really curious and excited to see where this goes, like, on the whole. I really, honestly, I picked this book up, and I suggested that we read it, right? Because I liked the first book, but I didn't ever think that we'd both enjoy it so much that we'd keep going on it. Because honestly, I had plans of showing you, like, a lot of different one-off mangas, because I do have a lot. Yeah, you're gonna get them. We just do have a couple ongoing series. But, like, I have plans on showing you a lot of, like, one-offs, or only having you read, like, one volume of certain series before moving on to other ones. And I kind of thought this was gonna be like that.
Or we do one and move on.
Yeah, but it's just so well done. Like, the art's beautiful, but the story just kind of, like, hits you in all of the feels immediately. And it keeps doing that. Like, I don't think there's ever been a moment where something's happened in the story and I've been like, okay, could have been better, seen it 1,000 times. Like, everything just hits the right emotional notes.
Oh, that was this book, wasn't it? When Frieren has, like, the pervy old man moment.
Yes.
He's like, what are you getting him for his birthday? This potion that you can pour on someone to get rid of clothes.
To get rid of clothes.
And her apprentice just kind of grabs it and pours it on her.
Yeah, she's like, how dare you?
She's like, no!
It would have been the perfect gift. It would have been. Frieren's good at giving gifts. Those gifts are just not appropriate.
I love that, like, when they're, like, at the birthday, you're like, I actually think I have a little bit of this left. It's like, I think she got whacked on the head by her apprentice or something like that.
Yeah. Like, super fucking inappropriate. But it was funny.
See, it's little moments like that.
Yeah, it's the little comedy that kind of builds up between the characters. It's definitely the character interaction that makes the comedy in it, because the character backstories are heart-rending at times.
I don't know. I think Frieren's is kind of heart-rending. Everything's kind of like, well, we are just the next generation, kind of.
True.
There's not all, like, none of them have, outside of Frieren, have these, like, really deep emotional backstories that they really come back to a lot.
I don't know. They all kind of have tragedy in their backstory, though, and we do get to see it.
I mean, no more than we all have dead people kind of thing. Like, dead relatives that died. But Frieren's the only one that's really coming at this with sort of an existential
Oh, when she finds the statue of the hero in the field of flowers. Oh, look at this fucking emotional damage. It's cute. I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely psyched to keep it up. Probably on a slightly slower schedule than it's been on, since I know that we're probably going to start catching up to the released books. And we also have some other stuff to catch up with, like El Malloy and Solo Leveling.
And eventually I want to return to Bakuman.
Yeah. Although I don't have any more volumes of Bakuman. Yeah. I really liked it, but when I first read it, I was still at that stage in my life where I was pirating a lot of manga online. So I think I went and I read like the next 10 volumes on one of those manga sites, and then I watched the anime when it came out. Yeah. Which is in the hat. Bakuman is in the hat, so we may actually get to see the anime sometime soon.
Of course, we have other stuff, like other little one-off stuff or things that we can try here and there.
Yeah, like I have been trying to... You know, I feel like I've kind of left reading behind in the pandemic, and I tend to kind of go to fan fiction or YouTube videos while I'm doing other stuff, and I haven't really been able to sink into books and enjoy myself until relatively recently, when I got back into reading physical, like, real books that aren't just fan fiction, and even just, like, it's nice to just read a novel these days. I started using my Kindle Unlimited again, and I've been trying to buy mangas more experimentally. Like, I'll go and I'll read the description, and even if I've never heard of it, if the description stands out to me, I'll buy the first volume, read it, and see how I feel about it, and if I want to buy any more. I just got one that came out just now, Ghost Reaper Girl, and I know I'm going to make Knick Knack read My Androgynous Boyfriend, and a couple others that I bought recently that I really enjoyed. Yeah. So... I liked this. I definitely, in the words of the Anime Club's anime reviews, I approve this.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you watch this video, let me know if there's a manga that you think I should read, because I am always on the lookout for manga recommendations for sure, and I go through those super fast, so there is a really good chance that I will actually read it. And if I like it, I will give it to Knick Knack to read. So... like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.